This is going to be my first cease and desist video. I just know it. I'm exposing some powerful people. You can't touch me no more because I'm not scared of you. But I used to be, which is why it took me 2 years to film this video. I am fearless, as Taylor Swift would say. If you've seen the title of this video, you know it's about to get messy. Hi you guys, I'm Bhavya Krishnan. Welcome back to my channel. And this is my story time of how I was traumatized by one of Bollywood's most famous stylists. It was one of the worst experiences of my life. If you followed me since my stylist days, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. We're a little unhinged here, and if you're not, this is not the right channel for you because I'm a little bit crazy and you will realize in this video. Without further ado, let's jump right into this video. And if you haven't watched my previous story times, I'm gonna link a playlist down below. I've got my new G7X back. I got robbed in Milan and I lost my G7X. I bought this one for $1 lakh and the original one that I had was for 45k. So you just know I'm dedicated to the content and that should be enough reason for you to follow me. So go hit that subscribe button and follow me on Instagram, and let's get right into the tea. Let's go back to November 2021 where this all started. Okay, so I was interning with this stylist, another big stylist, and we were on the set of Saregama, which is that Indian reality singing show. There's some big celebrities that we styled there. There was Chitrangada Singh, there was Salman Khan, there was Abhishek Bachchan. I was styling one of these celebrities and I was running around the set, and from the other trailer, this other stylist who was styling another big celebrity, she came up to me and she was like, oh my god, do you have scissors? Like, I really need them. I was like, no I don't, but I can get them for you. So I got her the scissors and I told her that, hey, I'm just an intern for this other stylist. I would love to intern with you. I'm a huge fan of your work. I've been following you for really long. And this was a stylist that I always wanted to work with because she's huge, right? So I had huge, massive respect for her. I was dying to intern for her and she took my number and she was like, yeah, sure. So fast forward to Jan of 2022, which is like 2 months later. On New Year's, I was in Lonavala with my family and I got a text from the stylist. We're going to call her Zahila because वो काफी जाहिल बदतमीज इंसान थी जो मुझे नहीं पता था, but this is still a pretty name for an ugly person, so we're going to call her Zahila. So Zahila texted me that she has this huge upcoming project. Her assistant got COVID last minute, so she needs me to fill in. This was my dream. I had dreamt of this moment for so long. I was like, yeah, obviously I will do anything. I will come back to Bombay tomorrow. I will come to your house. Like, I'm so passionate, I'm so grateful. And the next day I was at her house. This was a time when COVID was still going on and traveling was kind of hard and everything, and she asked me, are you open to travel? And I was like, yeah. Like, I thought like travel as in like she'll ask me to go to like Rajasthan or something. And she said to me, I'm styling this huge billionaire wedding in Dubai, so would you be okay to travel in 2 days? I was like, I didn't even think, like I didn't even know where my passport was, and I was like, yes, hell yes, like yes. I took on this project. Okay, we didn't discuss anything. She just gave me like, these are the stores I needed to go to, these are the clothes I needed to pick up, like right now you can start right away. I was like, okay, I was ready to give my life. So for the next 2 days I spent running around Mumbai for her. I went to every single major designer. I was at the Sabyasachi flagship store, Tarun Tahilani, Manish Malhotra, Gaurav Gupta, you name it. I was going to these stores and getting clothes, and I was spending my own money and everything because she told me that everything will be reimbursed, so you just keep all the receipts. So here's something you should know. Okay, I used to live in Navi Mumbai at the time and she used to live in Bandra, which is like far. Okay, Navi Mumbai is like 1.5 hours by car one way from anywhere in Bombay. I lied on my resume. Okay, I said I lived in Chembur in like a girls hostel or whatever, because stylists won't hire you if they know that you live far away, because sometimes they need you like ASAP and they don't hire people that stay far away. So I used to lie on all of my resumes, and I used to take the local train to like cover the distance, because whenever they used to call me I used to leave like 1 hour before so that I could make it there on time. I have worked my of these 2 days. At one point my feet hurt so much that I was on Hill Road like sourcing some stuff for her, and I bought a couple of chappals so that I could just run around more freely. And remember this information because it will come in use later. On the 3rd day, it's time for us to go to Dubai. We have to do a COVID test before we go. The flight is booked. I'm ready to leave with her. She's partnered up with another stylist, and there's going to be another assistant, and it's going to be me and Zahila together. So 4 of us in the styling team. I do my COVID test. My dad works in pharma, so he had like a company who was doing COVID tests, and my COVID result came back positive. I mean, I ran around Mumbai for 2 days in the local train. Obviously, I was gonna get COVID. I cried. No, this was one of the biggest opportunities of my life. But I was like, there's nothing we can do about it. I had 0 symptoms, nothing. Like, I didn't even sneeze or cough once. I was like, I'm done. And I sent her the results and I was like, I'm so sorry, I can't board the flight. So she told me that, okay, we still have like a buffer of 3 days. So if you get a negative result in 3 days, we can still fly you out to Dubai. For the next 2 days, I was quarantined in my house, in my room. I did every single thing that I could do to like get that negative test. Anyway, so after 2 days, I took the COVID test again and it came back negative. Now that I think about it, I think God was protecting me. I was on the next flight to Dubai. Before this, I had only traveled for work inside the country. This was my first international trip that was like alone and solo and for work, and everything was paid for, and I was so excited. I felt like such an adult. This whole trip is vlogged, by the way. I will link that vlog down below. So I reached Dubai, they've sent a car, there are other people who've landed with me. Before this, she had told me that it's a billionaire wedding. She never told me who the billionaires were. I had no idea. But the time I reached there, they gave us our own Sofitel apartment suites, and we were just assistants. Like, I was sharing it with the other assistant stylists, who we're going to call Zeher, because that was what she was full of, poison. This wedding preparation had been going on for 6 months before I joined. Like, I joined like 2 days before the wedding. They had flown to Europe, to everywhere, to just get outfits, and I was shocked. Like, I was shook. When I say there was no budget for this wedding, there was no budget for this wedding because it was insane. I was still an unpaid assistant. I was doing all the work for free and for the experience, which I accepted. I met the other assistant stylist, Zeher. She was so nice. She was like 26 or 27 at the time. I was 20. She was super sweet to me. She was so nice. She was like, oh my god, welcome, I've been so lonely, da 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 da. Like, she said she's going out for dinner with her friends and I can relax, unpack, take a shower and everything. The next morning, I wake up and I'm waiting because Zeher is taking a shower. She takes a shower for a long time and I was waiting for her to be done, and then I went in to take a shower and I shower in 10 minutes and I get ready. Okay, I do not care how I look on set because मेरी थोड़ी शादी है, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है मैं कैसे दिखूं. We ran a little bit late because I took a shower after her. I get a text from Zahila on the group chat. Okay, we had like a styling group chat and she texted on that saying, hey, the billionaires are here, looking forward to seeing you guys, and Bhavya, don't open your mouth unnecessarily, don't talk to anybody unless asked. Okay, unnecessary. Like, I know I talk a lot, but ye zarurat thi likhne ki group chat pe. Why would you say that? Like, that's so, like, at least you could have said it in a nice way. Like, Bhavya, don't open your mouth. And first of all, anybody that I talked to would be super grateful because everybody there was super boring and I was the only interesting person in my opinion. If I'm speaking to the billionaire, it's because I am a future billionaire. आपको लगता है आपके औकात से बाहर है तो वो आपकी प्रॉब्लम है. मुझे तो नहीं लगता, मैं तो सबसे बात करती हूँ. And I'm a very socially anxious person, so I saw this text and I was like, मैंने ऐसा कुछ बोल दिया क्या इसको कि इसने मुझे ऐसे text लिख दिया ग्रुप chat पे. But then I was like, it's okay. Maybe she just thinks I talk a lot and like whatever, and she's just telling me not to talk to them. Maybe खड़ूस billionaires होंगे, like क्या पता हमें. So we go there and we meet Zahila and the other stylist, and then Zeher says to Zahila that, oh, we got late because like Bhavya was taking a shower. भाई क्या हुआ, कल जो इतनी हमने अच्छी सी बॉन्डिंग की थी ये आपने किया मेरे साथ, आके बोल दिया कि हम लेट हुए बिकॉज आई टुक अ शावर, यू वर इन द शावर फॉर हाफ एन आवर, वो तो नहीं बताया आपने और मैं वहां खड़ी हूँ. आई एम लाइक, anyways, moving on, this day was so busy for me and I was thrown into like this jam-packed environment. Every day we had like 2 to 3 functions going on for this family. Every single function they had like different outfit changes. We had a mood board. There was a room in the basement only for outfit. Every single occasion there were at least 6 to 7 options. All of these outfits weighed at least 10 to 15 kgs. Like, they were heavy. I was sent to the mall at least like thrice in this day. You don't understand when they tell you to get like 1 or 2 things from a mall in Dubai. These malls are huge. You have to run around, navigate this mall, get to that place, and the most stressful part about all of it was that Zahila was not present on the set. She was with the family. We were doing all of the back end work and she would like suddenly say, Bhavya, you need to go to the mall right now, we need a sticky bra from Victoria's Secret. I'm running to Victoria's Secret. She hasn't given me like any card or cash or anything, so it's such a stressful environment for me that I didn't even ask. And I called her up in the car. I was like, hey, I don't have any card or anything. Like, she's just put it on your card, they'll reimburse you everything at the end of the wedding and everything. And obviously I don't want to disappoint her and I don't want to come off as ungrateful, so I was like, okay, I had my dad's credit card and I put everything on it. Also, something that you should know about me, I struggle with ADHD. I'm delusional, so I don't accept it, but it does impact me in many situations of my life, especially this, because it was a very high pressure work environment. They're billionaires, you cannot disappoint them. They will literally cut your head off. They won't for legal reasons, but like, you know what I mean. Let's talk about the bride's sister for a second. When you see like a Bollywood movie and they depict like these rich billionaires being delusional, out of touch, that is what the sister was. Everybody used to talk about her. Oh, she is bipolar, she has anxiety, she has ED, she has this, that, anger issues. And I was just like, it's okay यार, मैं तो friendship कर लूँगी, ऐसे लोगों से तो मेरी दोस्ती कब की हो रखी है. I literally saw that the makeup artist that this girl had hired, she backed out. She threw a whole fit. She was like, I can't work with any other makeup artist except my makeup artist. Like I need her to be there. And everyone's panicking. Everybody, भाई तुम्हारी शादी भी नहीं है, तुम खुद से कर लो मेकअप. Like इतना क्या हो गया, आपकी बहन की शादी है उसके लिए खुश हो, like कि क्या हो रहा है. I was just sitting there. I was like, if I was a billionaire, I would probably be like this too, but I'm not, so I'm a bit humble. And that day, after doing all my mall running, I'm sitting. Finally, I'm relaxing in the room because वो सब event पे गए हुए हैं. Sister comes in. She's like hassle. She's like, get this belt off of me. Get this outfit off of me. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get the outfit off for you. Chill. It's like this Hermes belt that's like super tight. Okay, and I'm like trying to get it off. I can't like yank it off without literally suffocating her. So I'm trying really hard and I have really long nails. She starts getting flustered. She's like hassling me. I'm already hassled. Okay, I'm so nervous because मुझे तो feeling आ रही है कि आपका सिर कटने वाला है. Like आप please. And I'm trying to get the belt undone. And then she's like, oh my god, I can't, like you're not getting it off of me. And I'm like, I'm trying. Finally, like someone else came into the room and I was like, please get this off. Like I'm not able to. And then they got it off of her and I felt like such a look. I was like, oh my god, I couldn't even get a belt off. It was not my fault. It was a really hard belt and she was making it really difficult by like making me like, jaldi karo, mujhe ye belt se bahar nikal. High pressure environment. Anyways, it was not that great of a day. And then finally, me, Zahila and Zeher were like, okay, we're done for the day. Let's go back to Sofitel. We three went back in the car. Zahila was like, oh, Bhava, we're going for like dinner. Do you want to join us? I was like, okay, sure. I'm so happy. Like you've invited me somewhere. I was so happy to go with them. Now we're sitting, the two of them are sitting together on the sofa and I'm sitting here like on the corner sofa. We've ordered our food. They both start talking, okay? Like they're talking amongst each other. And I'm just sitting there like a Lukha. Both of them were like laughing and talking. They did not include me. They did not ask me anything about my day. They did not ask me anything. They just literally excluded me. And I thought in my head that maybe I'm coming off as rude and I'm not trying to include myself in the conversation. Maybe I should be more social. I was like, hey, what are you talking about? What's so funny? Like, what's up? Like, how was your day? Zahila, who is my boss, and she's like 33, 32 years old. She looks at me and she goes,
darling, this doesn't concern you. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Rude. It was so mean. I'm just sitting there like stunned. You invited me to this dinner. You've excluded me completely. And when I try to make conversation with you, you just say to me, darling, it does not concern you. Immediately tears came to my eyes. Like immediately, like I felt so stupid. I was already in such a zone because of the whole work. I just got up. I went to the waiter. I said, cancel my order. I don't want anything. And I told them that I'm sorry, like I'm not feeling well. I need to go to my room. And they were like, oh, okay. No questions asked, like, okay, off, like we don't give a shit about you, live or die. I ran to this random staircase I found. I Zoom called my friends Anirudh and Ishan and I cried. I was like, I feel so horrible. Like, what did I do? They're so mean to me. I went back to the apartment. I ordered myself food, paid for my own food, and I slept. I was so horrified by the way that she spoke to me. ये मुझे middle school bullies की याद दिला रहा है. And this is not how you talk to people. It was so disrespectful. Like, you could have said that, oh, it's just a personal matter. What's up? How was your day? Like, you could have just been anything. Like, but that was so rude to just be like, oh, it doesn't concern you, and then go back to your conversation and completely ignore me. Why did you even invite me to dinner? At around like 12 or 1 a.m. my roommate Zeher came back to the room, and this is how I know a person has the worst upbringing and zero manners. I'm sleeping and she comes in, she's turned on all the bathroom lights, she's playing music, she's filling the tub, she's making so much noise. Zero regard for the person who's sleeping. I would never do that. It's okay if you want to take a bath. Playing music loudly is just the sign of a stupid person, okay? Civic sense as a thing exists in this world. So Zeher, if you're watching this, basic thing that you should know, जब कोई सो रहा होता है, आके सब light on music सब कुछ नहीं बजाते, यहाँ पे बारात नहीं चल रही है, like have some basic regard. So the next morning, because I had slept super early, crying really takes the life out of you. I walked up to the supermarket inside the hotel and I got myself some orange juice and I filled up some cute mimosa glasses in the hotel and I was taking like my cute selfies on the balcony. She woke up, she went to shower. मैंने उससे पहले ही shower कर लिया था because मुझे समझ आ गया है कि ये है एक नंबर की To go to work, we both get into this car together, and she literally like had this issue. She got into the car and she would be like, I've told you so many times that I don't like to move in the car. If I'm coming in from this door, you come in from the other door. Bhai tu hai dusre door se. It is not my fault ki your gand is like a sand and you cannot move your ass to the other corner, because I do not see this as an issue. I was like, okay, I'll get in from the other door. My god, like you can't even move your ass. It's just these little things where I kept feeling disrespected. You can tell me nicely, हर चीज में बेइज्जती करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Like we haven't eaten anything, so I go into the kitchen. Usually there was like croissants and stuff there out for the staff. All of the staff members were there, like their maid who's been there for really long with the family, the drivers, everyone, like उनके खानदानी staff हैं वहाँ पे सब, and they were so nice. I'm vlogging, I'm doing my stuff, I'm तो in my main character era. There was a maid who was there with them since बचपन. Already मेरी बेइज्जती हो रखी है, ठीक है, like मैं already बहुत ही बेइज्जत हूँ. जहर और जाहिला ने मेरी मिलके इज्जत निकाल चुके हैं already. बैठी हुई हूँ वहाँ पे अपना croissant खा रही हूँ, और मुझे ये maid she says to me, oh yesterday the sister of the bride didn't finish her chocolate cake. Do you want some? My parents have worked very hard in my life. I was like, भाई आप मुझे बचा कुचा चॉकलेट केक दे रहे हो किसी बिलियनर का, मुझे नहीं चाहिए. Like आप मुझे क्यों समझ रहे हो इस लेवल पे? You might think I'm privileged or whatever because I'm saying this, but it was very humbling for me as an experience. I was like, I'm staff. मैं नहीं हूँ बिलियनर, नहीं है मेरे में औकात. Like क्या हो रहा है मेरे साथ? ऊपर से उसने मुझे बोल दिया, आपकी जो चप्पल है सेम मेरे पास है. Like it was that चप्पल that I got on Hill Road. मैं कहा दुबई में सपने देख के आई थी कि मैं स्पोर्ट्स कार में VIP क्लबिंग जाऊंगी, मुझे तो ये बिलियनर्स अपनी वेडिंग में इंक्लूड भी कर देंगे. मैं तो हूँ इतनी हॉट भाई मुझे यहाँ पे. माय पेरेंट्स मुझे जूते मार के निकालते वहां से कि बेटा हमने इतनी मेहनत की अपनी लाइफ में कि तुम ये खाओ लेफ्ट ओवर किसी और के, क्या इज्जत रहेगी मेरी फैमिली की. No, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm just trying to tell you that my parents have raised me in a very good environment. I'm very happy that she offered me this, and I'm very happy that she had the same chappal and she was excited. But it just shows me my औकात in that situation, and it was not good. Okay, I was feeling very horrible because I was like, मुझे घर पे प्रिंसेस जैसे रखा हुआ है और यहाँ पे मेरे सब क्या हो रहा है. Like मुझे क्यों बचा कुचा ये लेफ्ट ओवर दिया गया है, मुझे क्यों अंडर प्रिविलेज समझ रहे हैं. I was very nice to the staff. Like I had very good bonding with them. वो मुझे पूछ रहे थे, they were like, oh you're just a child, you're here, this that, and I was like, yeah, I miss my family, I miss my friends, like I feel very lonely. I went back to work, which was a very hectic day, and again was sent to the mall. I was spending money from my dad's credit card because they weren't giving me any card or cash. They were saying everything will be reimbursed to you. I believe you, it's a billionaire wedding. Then came the situation of the broken Jimmy Choo, and this is a situation that I always think about in my life. So right before a very big wedding event, the bride's mother, who is the actual like headmistress of the billionaire family, her Jimmy Choo broke. Jimmy Choo is a shoe and the sole of it came off. Everyone's panicking and she's saying that this is the only shoe that she wants to wear, so get it fixed. Zahila comes to me, she's like, take this to the Jimmy Choo store and get it fixed. I'm like, okay. मैं खड़ी हूँ Jimmy Choo में, वो मुझे बोल रहे हैं कि भैया आपके पास रिसीट नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, हम क्यों फिक्स करें इसको. I went to this other store, it's called Minutes in Dubai, and they repair anything. They said to me it'll take at least 3 hours, we have a lot of stuff to do. I called Zahila, I'm like, all of this is happening, like they're not fixing it, they're saying it take 3 hours, Jimmy Choo is not fixing it, like they don't have a receipt.
She's like, I don't care how you get things done, I don't want to know your struggle, just get it done.
Okay.
Sitting in the middle of the mall, I am freaking out because I know अगर ये शू वापस ऐसा टूटा हुआ गया, मुझे तो ये घर भेजने वाले. I can feel a panic attack coming. I call my dad. I'm like,
Papa,
वो जो आप ग्लू यूज करते हो सारी चीजें ठीक करने के लिए, वो कौन सी ग्लू है? I went to the hardware store in the mall. I got super glue. मैंने वो जिमी चू पे ग्लू लगा के चिपका के उसको पहन लिया है. मैं चली हूँ थोड़ी देर वो मॉल में, गाड़ी में मैं बैठी हूँ. I've put that shoe, I've sat in the car, I've like made sure it's stable. I've gone back, I've told her
I have fixed the shoe.
Jimmy Choo has fixed the shoe. ये लीजिए, खुश रहिए. And nobody ever found out. The shoe till today I'm pretty sure is stable. This is why I know in a situation that you put me, whether it's sink or swim,
I will swim.
because मेरा brain activate हो जाता है last moment पे. उसने मुझे बोला कि आपको जैसे fix करना है करो, मुझे नहीं सुनना, तो वही कर लिया मैंने fix. After I give her the shoe, I walk into this horrible situation where Zahila and Zahir are holding this 10 kg Sabyasachi dupatta and trying to sew it. Suddenly, the bride's mother had decided that she wants pleats in the dupatta, and this is a dupatta that is heavily embroidered and very heavy. Zahila says to me, Bhavya, can you sew these pleats?
So?
मुझे नहीं सिखाया फैशन स्कूल में कि सो कैसे करते हैं. आई एम नॉट अ फैशन डिजाइन स्टूडेंट, आई एम अ फैशन बिजनेस स्टूडेंट. आई हैव नॉट बीन थॉट हाउ टू सो. आई डोंट नो हाउ टू पुट धागा इन नीडल. आई एम वेरी यूजलेस. भाई मुझे इतना स्ट्रेस हो गया. और मैं देख रही हूँ कि वो ये सब्यासाची के दुपट्टे को नीडल और थ्रेड से सो कर रहे हैं बड़ी ही गंदी वे में. आई वाज लाइक भाई मैं तो एसोसिएट ही नहीं हो रही हूँ ये मोमेंट के साथ, बिकॉज मुझे पता है गलत होने वाला है. बट एनीवेज, आफ्टर दिस वेरी लॉन्ग डे ऑफ बीइंग हम्बल्ड, आई वेंट बैक एंड आई डिसाइडेड enough is enough. I need to go out in Dubai. This is where my other story time comes into place, and this was my first story time, so you should watch it. It's why you should never fall for guys in Dubai. This is where Zayn came in, because I put up a tweet on Twitter that said I'm in Dubai HMU, and in the next 30 minutes this random guy who texted me on Twitter pulled up to Sofitel and he took me out on the best night. He took me in his sports car, VIP clubbing. We had so much fun. It was the most, अब मुझे लग रहा था princess. This was my correct Dubai experience. I instantly had feelings for him. Call it Stockholm syndrome, because everything was going so wrong in my life, and this guy, he came in as this one blessing that took me away from it. We're gonna call him Zayn because that's what I called him in my last story time. This is why I know that the universe will always have my back, because at one of the worst, most hassling times of my life where I thought that I can't do this anymore, God sent this guy into my life and he gave me exactly what I wanted. And the next morning I came home at like 5 AM. Zahir was sleeping happily like the poisonous that she is. One thing about me, no matter what you say, I was professional. I came back at 5 AM, I took a shower, I did everything, and I was at work at 8 AM. I did not care about sleep. This was a very hard day for me, not eating on time. We were working 16 hours a day. They gave me this task, okay, that ये सारे clothing bags है, like empty garment bags. Every bag has the brand name on it, and you have to put every single lehenga that is done into this bag and into the suitcase. In that room of like 55 to 60 lehengas, I had to check every lehenga with the name tag, put it in its respective bags, and these lehengas are heavy. Spent the whole entire day doing that, and at the end of it we had the Sangeet, which is a big night. First of all, the Sangeet was beautiful. They shut down like a whole part of Dubai. We had insane fireworks. The people that were pulling up in like a Rolls Royce, all these celebrity singers were there. Manish Paul was hosting. My backstage thi, I was with the bride's family. Me and Zahir were dragging these heavy suitcases, and I'm dragging the suitcase behind me, okay, behind Zahir, and Zahir is dragging the suitcase next to her. But the concrete is like wonky, so it's easier to drag it behind you. She's like, drag it beside you instead of behind you. I'm like, क्या फर्क पड़ रहा है, सूटकेस तो मेरे साथ ही आ रहा है ना. And she's like, just say, do as I'm telling you. I was like, sense as a concept, सूटकेस आप साथ में लो या पीछे लो, आ तो मेरे साथ ही रहा है ना. We get to the tent and Zahir starts telling Zahila,
Bhavya doesn't listen to me.
she's so inefficient, she doesn't obey me. I'm telling her, drag your suitcase like this, she's dragging it like that.
ये कोई चीज है complain करने वाली?
Like, both of us are here, both the suitcases are here at the same time, just to make me look bad. You are saying anything. And I'm telling Zahila that, bhai, I was getting the suitcase with her, like how does it matter if I drag it beside me or behind me? And Zahila just goes like, I don't want to hear anything. She's older than you, just listen to her. Your job is to make her job easier, and I don't want to hear any complaints from her. You have been planning this wedding for 6 months. I have been here for 3 days. I felt like shit. I felt horrible. I felt inefficient. I felt like a loser. I literally cried this whole trip. Every 2 hours I would cry. Guys, the sun has set, so I have turned on this light. I just went back and I went to sleep. That brings us to day 3, one of the worst days of my life. I knew this day was going to go bad because the morning we went back to the billionaire villa, I saw Zahila getting yelled at by the bride's mother. She was yelling because वो दुपट्टा जो हमने कल सो किया था, obviously वो ठीक से सो नहीं हुआ था. She was yelling at Zahira that you don't know how to do your work, like it's so inefficient, like what are you doing? So it's not me. Okay, it's not me, it is you also. आपने सो किया, दुपट्टा आपसे ठीक से नहीं हो रहा, मेरे से कहाँ से होगा भैया? आप इतने साल से स्टाइलिस्ट हो, आप बॉलीवुड में इतने बड़े बड़े काम कर रहे हो, आपको स्टिल इज्जत नहीं दी जा रही है, आपकी यहाँ पे इज्जत उतारी जा रही है. This was like a very jarring moment for me, because I was like, even though you're such a big stylist, you are still not respected by your clients. Because why is this client yelling at you for something that was basically not your fault? It's not possible to sew such a heavy dupatta with a thread. Okay, it is common sense. We are sitting in the basement, we can still hear the yelling. I knew this was going to be a bad day for me, because उसका तो मूड खराब हो ही गया है, और ऑलरेडी उसका मूड खराब ही रहता है, वो मेरे ऊपर ही उतारने वाली है. this day was so busy. I swear to God, we worked at least 18 hours non-stop. I didn't even have time to eat. And I was finishing up like this whole bathtub of shoes in their respective boxes. So I was the only one alone in the basement, like who was packing everything, taking these 15 kg lehengas, and I finally finished everything. So proud of myself. I was so tired, I was so hungry. I just wanted to go home. Zahir comes back from the event and I tell her, okay, I finished everything, I'm done. Then there was this one empty shoe bag that had floated from the air onto the floor in some corner, and Zahir picks it up and she's like, how many times have I told you that I don't want things messy, can't you see? Oh my god, दुनिया खत्म हो गई थी वहां पे. वो बैग फ्लोट होके आ गया. मेरी गलती भी नहीं थी वो, मैंने तो सब ठीक से रख दिया था भाई. हवा ने अभी. She is demeaning me, okay? Like the house help is there, the drivers are there. She's saying to me, I've told you so many times you can't see this bag, and I'm trying to tell her that it was not there before. She's like, no, don't give me excuses, I told you I want this done. And I lost my shit. Things were building up and up and up to this point. I was not saying anything. I was so nice. I was super helpful. And when this moment came, I was already tired. I had had enough, and this was my last straw. And she started treating me like I'm her servant. I felt so disrespected, and I'm just standing there and she's holding this bag, and my brain malfunctioned and I started screaming. I know exactly for how long I screamed because I saw the time. It was for 6 minutes. Everything I was holding in has come out. Bhai, I have said so much. She's saying to me that you don't know anything, you don't know how to do your job, this bag is lying here, can't you see it, you've not come here on vacation, you're vlogging, this, that. Bhai, मैंने रोक दिया उसको. मैंने उसको बोला 1 minute. Auntie, I went off. Like मैंने उसको जो जो सुनाया ना भाई, वो कभी नहीं रिकवर होगी उससे. And I am not proud of this. गालियाँ दी है मैंने. I was like, you're 26, you're calling me a child, you are the one who behaves like this, you're saying I'm on vacation. Who would go on vacation with a bitch like you? You suck the life out of everyone, you suck the blood out of everyone.
तुम्हारे साथ वेकेशन पे कौन जाएगा, इसलिए तुम अकेली हो, तुम्हारा बॉयफ्रेंड नहीं है, तुम ये जॉब कर रही हो 26 पे, तुम्हारा फर्स्ट इंटरनेशनल वर्क ट्रिप है, मैं 20 साल की उम्र पे आ गई हूँ, सेम ही औकात पे हम. इनफैक्ट हमारी औकात सेम नहीं है. मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझे पहले दुबई लाए हैं, तुम्हें तो दुबई लाया भी नहीं है कोई. तुम्हें शर्म नहीं आती मुझसे ऐसे बात कर रही हो? इतनी डिसरिस्पेक्टफुल. I have been nothing but nice to you. You have been demeaning me since day one. You're back bitching about me, you're doing this, you're playing all these dirty politics for what? I'm not even interested. And what is your issue with my vlogging, भाई?
मैंने उतना सुना है. Like my brain just जितना भी मेरे अंदर भरा था सब निकल गया. I'm happy that I stood up for myself, but for 6 minutes I was just screaming, crying, tears streaming down like hot, like my cheeks are red, everything. I'm sleep deprived, I'm hungry, I'm sweaty, I'm just screaming.
I've been working so hard, you don't even see that. You just want to pinpoint my mistakes at every corner, like you don't have any sense. You call this professionalism. तुम इतनी लंबी शार लेती हो, सारी ग्लोबल वार्मिंग तो तेरी प्रॉब्लम है, तुमने किया है.
In my defense, she had it coming. ये वो उतरी गाली दी है भाई मैंने. People forget I am from Delhi. I was born there. My dad's family is all from Delhi. That is my hometown. Do not mess with me. I am very nice till you test my patience, and she tested my patience enough. One thing about me, I will stand up for myself. I don't care who you are. भाई वो बिलियनर को मेरे सामने खड़ा कर दो. उसने मुझे ऐसे कुछ बोल दिया होता ना, मैं 2 थप्पड़ वापस दे देती. और इसको तो मैं थप्पड़ मारती, बट मैं दुबई में थी इसलिए मैंने नहीं मारा. If I was in India, that would be missing a patch from her scalp. I can guarantee you that, because who the hell are you? I started working at a very young age, so I get to places faster than other people, and for some reason this is always an issue because they think that I don't deserve to be there in the same place as them just because I'm younger. And while I was going on my screaming rampage, जहाँ पे मैं उसको गालियाँ गलोच गलीच नीच सारी गालियाँ दे रही हूँ, she had called Zahila, and Zahila was listening on the phone. भाई करण जौहर ऐसी स्क्रिप्ट ना लिख पाए. चुप खड़ी है, शांत, ठीक है. अब मैं चिल्ला रही हूँ, वो शांत खड़ी हुई है वहां पे, सब आसपास करके देख रहे हैं. एंड शी हैज कॉल्ड Zahila sneakily and she has put her on call, and Zahila is listening to all of this. After I'm done screaming, Zahir says to me, good, you let all of this out. Zahila has heard everything on the phone. I have called her and she has heard everything. Now you speak to her. मेरी क्या फट के हाथ में आई है. I was like, I am so screwed. I was ready to pack my bags and leave. पैसे दे रहे हो आप मुझे इसके? Like आप मुझे पैसे दे रहे हो इसके? आप मुझे बताओ. I'm stunned. ये आपने क्या कर दिया? Quite smart on her part, I must say. I commend a good opponent. आपने बहुत अच्छा revenge लिया मेरे से. Zahila walks into the room. She's like,
Is there a problem here, Bhavya?
I'm just standing there with tears streaming down my face. I'm telling Zahila.
Yeah, there is a problem.
I tell Zahila, see, before you say anything, let me explain. She has been hassling me since day one. She has been, you know, on my back. She's micromanaging me. I have done all my work. I have done everything. I might not be the best assistant you had, but I have tried my very best in this environment. You've put me in 3 days ago. You've had 6 months to do this. I'm trying really hard and like I've worked really hard for you. I've not made any excuses. I don't understand why I'm being treated like this. And Zahila says to me, Bhavya, you know what? I have seen that you are very ungrateful that I got you to Dubai. You just seem like, you know, you seem very unfazed by everything. But you know how many girls would die to be in your situation? Do you know how many people would die to have an opportunity like this? Do you know what this is? This is a Zuhair Murad. Zuhair Murad is a very big designer, by the way. She was holding a dress made by him. Have you ever touched a Zuhair Murad? Zuhair Murad होगा आपका बाप, मेरा तो कोई नहीं लगता. Who are you to tell me that I should be grateful for you bringing me to Dubai to work my ass for free for 18 hours a day? I should be grateful to you for bringing me here as a slave? That line lives in my head rent free. Have you ever touched a Zuhair Murad? And only because she said this to me, one day I'm going to collaborate with Zuhair Murad and I'm going to put this as the caption because that pissed me off.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I didn't say anything. She goes on to say to me that Zaher has told me everything you've been doing. You've been drinking mimosas in the morning. You have been out all night with boys. You're here to work. You've been feeling homesick. You're complaining to the staff about how we're making you homesick.
I'm stunned.
Okay, like I am shocked.
What mimosa?
I am 20. I'm not even of legal age. I'm trying to tell her, Zahila, I can't order alcohol in Dubai. I never ordered mimosas to the room. I had never had mimosas before work. Like, what are you saying? She's like, no, they were having in the terrace, in the balcony, in the room. First of all, whatever I do in the room is none of your business. Okay, it's none of your business what I do in my off time. Second of all, I wasn't having mimosas. I was having orange juice, which I paid with for my own money. And मैंने वो aesthetic glass में डाल दिया. इसका मतलब ये नहीं. झूठ पे झूठ बोला गया मेरे बारे में. She has been so poisoned against me by that stupid assistant. Hence her name that I have given her. If I went out at night, I was at work the next day and homesick. भाई मैं दुबई में क्यों homesick होंगी? ये तो मेरा dream city है. I'm like, मैंने नहीं बोला मैं homesick हूँ. Zahila says to me, no, the housemaid came and told Zaher that like, you know, why are you treating Bhavya like this? She's feeling very sad. Now the billionaire's house help. Remember I had that conversation that I miss my family and I miss my friends. That's what she went and told to Zaher, that to treat me better because I was missing my family, because I was feeling alone and I was in this new environment. But I never said I was homesick. I was never being ungrateful. I was just telling them something normal, that I miss my friends and family. This has been taken completely out of context and Zaher has gone and told Zahila that like she's feeling homesick, she wants to go home. I never said this. At this moment I realized I can't win. Like I just can't win. And even logically she's not ready to listen to me. I'm telling her you can check my room bills, you can check whatever. I'm not even legally allowed to order. And mind you, all of them were out. All of them were at parties, at clubs in their off time. Why is it an issue when I did it? Zahila says to me that Zaher has been on this project for 6 months. She's older than you. Is this how you speak to someone who's older than you? I know you've been working hard, but she's been working hard for longer. Ye meri galti hai? And I said to her that I understand that she's older and she's working hard, but that does not give her the right to disrespect me. I am so proud of myself for saying that, because it doesn't matter if you're older than me. If you disrespect me, मैं चप्पल लेके मुंह पे दो दूंगी. अगर मुझे मिमोसास पीनी है तो मैं मिमोसास पीऊंगी. मैं अपने पैसे से दे रही हूँ. आपको क्या इशू हो रही है? और मैंने पिया भी नहीं है मिमोसा. What you do in your personal time is none of my business. Exactly how it should be none of your business. And you know what? After this whole conversation, I do need a mimosa. And at some point, I realized that there is no point in defending myself. So I shut up. I was logically thinking, and then I calmed down. Zahila says to me, you know what? Pack your bags and leave. Okay. My parents had been telling me since day one to come back home. Like, why are you busting your ass for this woman for no pay? The billionaire wedding is secret and private, so there's no credits, there's nothing you're getting out of this. I put myself through this because I wanted to be professional, and she brought up this thing that yesterday at the Sangeet, after the Sangeet was over, all the leftover food that was there, they were giving to the staff in tiffin boxes, and I refused to eat that. Okay, I was like, I don't want some leftover of some wedding. Zahila ko bol diya tha Sangeet pe, mujhe nahi khana hai. She took offense to that. She was like, we are also all eating the same thing. I was like, you eat? I calmed down. Okay, I calmed down. I told Zahila, let's see, I'm here to work and I have worked my ass off and I'm going to finish this. And I have massive respect for you and the work you've done. You've been in this industry for so long. I've looked up to you, which is why I'm here. I know you've made up your mind about me. You might hate me, whatever, but I'm not here to fight with you. I was the one who resolved this fight. I was the one who said sorry. She was like, Fine. He went back into the basement room. Zaher is standing there crying. She starts saying to Zahila, I can't stay in the room with her. I can't stay in a room with somebody who's treated me like this. I can't even look at her. I feel so disrespected, Zahila. Like, no one's ever spoken to me that good. Maybe if people had spoken to you this way, you would have a little more sense, you badtameez aurat. How are you acting the victim here? I say to her, don't worry about it. I won't be in the room tonight. She's like, no, I won't be in the room tonight. I'm like, bye, okay. I called up Zain that night and I left. Next morning, I came back home at like 6 a.m. I saw Zaher is sleeping. I had the urge to suffocate her with a pillow. This was our last day at work and the next day we were supposed to fly home. But if you think the worst is over, it's not. Remember all those credit card bills I racked up for Zahila because she kept sending me to the mall for last minute emergency stuff? All of those bills I had carefully marked, stapled and given to her to give it back to the billionaire family to reimburse. For the next 3 months, I begged her for my own money. She stopped responding to my texts. She stopped picking up my calls. She wouldn't even reply to me. Calling the billionaire family's house staff. They told me, we have already paid Zahila the reimbursement money. She should pay you by now. And it was only 21,000 rupees. जो मैं अभी आपको GPay कर दूँ. One of the most successful Bollywood stylists, and she did not pay me back 21,000 rupees that I spent out of my dad's credit card for her work. And it's not a matter of money, it's a matter of principle. Shame as a concept should exist. Finally, I made my mom call her from my mom's phone and she picked up because the call was from an unknown number. And my mom said to her, hi Zahila, I'm Bhavya's mother. Her dad is in the hospital because he has diabetes and he's sick, and Bhavya is in Mumbai because she lives in a PG in Chembur. So we really need the money. Can you please send it to us? Because we're from a very poor lower middle class household. Please can you help us? You are such a big stylist. You can give us back our money. And my dad is in the background coughing. He's like, my whole family has sat and done this drama to get the money out. And she's like,
Yeah, okay, I'll send it.
and then she texts me back finally after 3 months and she says, I'm going to send you 10k now and then I'll send you 10k the next month. ये installment plan हमने कब चालू किया? मुझे 20,000 रुपए वापस नहीं दे सकते एक बारी में? I never want to be a stylist. इतना आपने काम किया है, आप अपने intern से पैसे निकलवा रहे हो? Amount of horror I have experienced in this situation that my mother had to call her. By the way, it was 21k. Zahila, 1,000 आपने मेरे खा लिए हैं और मैं आपको दान में दे रही हूँ because clearly you need it more than me. After this experience, I never assisted any other stylist in Bollywood. I did my own projects, but at some point I realized, you know, that if she was such a big stylist and she was still treated like shit, she didn't have money, she didn't have respect. This was not a career that I saw myself going in long term. As per for Zaher, recently after 2 years, I ran into her at my friend's house party. I was there with my best friend Madhulika and Zaher came up to me and she was like,
Oh my god, hi, Bhavya, hi.
oh, I hope there's no bad blood between us. You know, all of those times when you were posting all that on your story, me and Zahila used to watch and be like, oh, the audacity she has to block us. But you know, I hope we're all good now. You were just a child that time. You know, I was just trying to help you learn and everything. It was a good learning experience for you. Don't you dare. Now you're coming to me and you're treating me like we've been besties that whole trip. I never forgive and I never forget. I ignored her for the rest of the party. So I must just say that that was my experience. Now you all know. You've been asking me for 2 years under the comment section of my billionaire wedding vlog. Now you know what happened and now you can watch that vlog and my Zain story time. I hope you guys enjoyed that tea. I will see you guys in my next story time and I love you so much. Thank you for always being here. Thank you for always supporting me. This is my side of the story 100% and I have all the receipts to back it up. So if you take me to court, I'm suing you for that 1,000 rupees that you have kept from me. My last words of advice to you are stay petty and don't let anybody ever disrespect you, no matter your age and no matter your social status. Anyways, Zohair Morad, if you're looking to collaborate with me, this is the right time.